Power, scandal, and legacy. Few names in modern American politics stir up as much passion and controversy as Bill and Hillary Clinton. Welcome back to Whispers of the White House, and today we talk about the Clintons. When we talk about political power couples, the Clintons dominate the conversation. But, as we all know, their legacy is complicated, marked by political accomplishments but also overshadowed by scandal and alleged affairs. In this episode, we're diving into Bill Clinton's presidency, his alleged affairs, and how these scandals almost derailed his political career. We'll also explore rumors about Hillary Clinton's supposed retaliatory affairs, including the speculated relationship with Vince Foster. How much of it was media exaggeration? How much truth is behind these rumors? And more importantly, how did it all affect their careers and legacy? Let's get into it. Before we dive into the more salacious details, it's important to remember that Bill Clinton's presidency wasn't just about scandal. His time in office saw a string of major accomplishments that cemented his place in American history as one of the most effective presidents of the modern era. Because, as always, those with political power may be assholes, they do often bring some good to the world. First and foremost, the economy was booming under Clinton's watch. His presidency marked one of the longest periods of economic expansion in U.S. history. Unemployment dropped, the stock market soared, and for the first time in decades, the U.S. moved from budget deficits to surpluses. Yes, you heard that right, budget surpluses. In today's era of constant deficit spending, that sounds almost mythical. But Clinton pulled it off, thanks in part to strategic tax increases and spending cuts that won bipartisan support. Then there's welfare reform. In 1996, Clinton signed a sweeping welfare overhaul that aimed to reduce dependency on government assistance. It was controversial. Critics said it was too harsh, but supporters saw it as necessary to encourage self-sufficiency. This wasn't a lone effort either. Around the same time, Clinton also pushed through the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, creating a free trade zone between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. These policy wins were part of Clinton's broader effort to position himself as a new Democrat, a centrist who could appeal to liberals and moderates alike. This balancing act made him one of the most politically savvy figures of his generation. But despite these historic accomplishments, his presidency is forever tied to scandal. And once those headlines started rolling in, there was no turning back. It's time to confront the part of Bill Clinton's legacy that simply cannot be ignored, the scandals. Few political stories of the 1990s captured the public's attention, quite like the shocking revelations about Clinton's alleged affairs and his personal conduct while in office. From the early days of his campaign trail to the height of his presidency, it often felt like there was always another allegation just waiting to break. The most infamous, of course, was the Monica Lewinsky scandal. If you were alive in 1998, you probably remember the media frenzy that ensued. Monica Lewinsky, a 22-year-old White House intern, became entangled in a secret affair with President Clinton. For months, Clinton adamantly denied the allegations, going on national television to famously declare, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." At the time, many Americans believed him, as his reputation as a charming but flawed political figure was already baked into his public image. But everything changed when the infamous blue dress surfaced. The dress, which Lewinsky had kept unwashed, contained undeniable physical evidence of the affair. That single piece of evidence unraveled Clinton's carefully constructed denial. Cornered by hard evidence, Clinton finally admitted to having an inappropriate relationship with Lewinsky. This moment, captured on live television, became one of the most unforgettable moments in modern American political history. The fallout was seismic. For only the second time in American history, a sitting president was impeached. Clinton faced charges of perjury for lying under oath and obstruction of justice for attempting to conceal the affair. It was a political and media circus, with the country divided over the morality of a president's private affairs and their relevance to his ability to govern. Ultimately, the Senate acquitted Clinton, allowing him to remain in office. but the ordeal consumed much of his second term, overshadowing his policy accomplishments and making his personal conduct a national conversation. However, the Monica Lewinsky scandal wasn't the first time Clinton faced allegations of infidelity. Back in 1992, during his first presidential campaign, he was confronted with claims of a 12-year affair with Jennifer Flowers, a former Arkansas TV personality and actress. Flowers even held a press conference where she released audio recordings of what she claimed were phone calls with Clinton. At the time, Clinton denied having a relationship with her, though he admitted to being friendly with her. But years later, during his 1998 deposition related to the Paula Jones lawsuit, Clinton was forced to admit that he had indeed had a one-time encounter with Flowers. This revelation only fueled the perception that Clinton had a pattern of dishonesty about his personal life. Next, we have the Paula Jones scandal, which in many ways set the stage for the Monica Lewinsky saga. In 1994, Paula Jones, a former Arkansas state employee, filed a lawsuit against Clinton for sexual harassment. She alleged that back in 1991, while he was governor of Arkansas, Clinton had exposed himself to her in a hotel room and propositioned her for sex. Initially dismissed as politically motivated, the case took on new life during Clinton's presidency. In 1998, facing mounting legal pressure, Clinton agreed to settle the case for $850,000, but notably, the settlement did not include an admission of wrongdoing. This high-profile case established a pattern of allegations regarding Clinton's treatment of women, casting a long shadow over his presidency. If that weren't enough, there were two other high-profile accusations that continue to follow Clinton's legacy: Kathleen Willey and Juanita Broaddrick. Kathleen Willey, a former White House volunteer, claimed that Clinton groped her in the Oval Office in 1993, just as she was seeking his help with personal financial issues. Meanwhile, Juanita Broaddrick's allegations were even more serious. Broaddrick claimed that, back in 1978, when Clinton was the Attorney General of Arkansas, he had raped her in a hotel room. Broaddrick remained silent about the incident for years, but in 1999, she gave an explosive interview on national television where she graphically described the alleged assault. Clinton denied the allegations, and no charges were ever filed. Despite the weight of these allegations, Clinton's popularity somehow remained intact. Public opinion polls consistently showed that Americans separated his personal behavior from his political performance. Why? Simply put, people liked his policies. Under Clinton's watch, the U.S. economy was thriving, jobs were plentiful, wages were rising, and the stock market was hitting record highs. For many Americans, that was all that mattered. They could overlook his personal indiscretions as long as the economy stayed strong. This compartmentalization of character and competence became a defining feature of the Clinton presidency. While critics argued that his personal behavior reflected a lack of integrity, supporters countered that his performance as president should be judged by the results he delivered for the country, not by his personal flaws. It's this complicated duality, scandal and success, charm and controversy, that defines the Clinton legacy to this day. Now, let's shift our focus to Hillary Clinton. While Bill's affairs made front-page news, Hillary's personal life has always been more private. But that didn't stop the rumor mill from churning. One of the most infamous stories involved Vince Foster, a close friend of the Clintons and deputy White House counsel. In 1993, Foster was found dead by suicide, a tragedy that should have been left at that. But conspiracy theorists began to claim that Hillary and Foster were having an affair and that his death was somehow linked to it. To be clear, there is no evidence to support these claims, and most historians consider them baseless. But that didn't stop tabloids from running with the story. There were also broader whispers that Hillary had romantic ties with powerful figures in Hollywood and political circles, but these rumors were mostly media speculation with no evidence. Conservative columnist William Safire once accused Hillary of having an adulterous affair, but again, no evidence was ever produced. Despite all the rumors, one thing is clear: Hillary Clinton stayed by Bill's side through every scandal. Critics accused her of enabling his behavior, while supporters praised her loyalty and resilience. Her ability to survive these public storms would later become part of her own political brand, culminating in her 2016 run for president. So what does it all mean? How do you judge a legacy that's equal parts triumph and controversy? On one hand, Bill Clinton's presidency is remembered for economic success, welfare reform, and centrist policies that appealed to a broad swath of the electorate. But on the other hand, his legacy is inseparable from scandal. The Monica Lewinsky affair, the impeachment trial, and the allegations from multiple women created a narrative that Clinton was a leader with moral failings. For Hillary Clinton, the scandal had a profound impact on her political career. While she stood by her husband, her decision to do so became both a point of criticism and a symbol of strength. As she pursued her own career in the Senate, the State Department, and later the 2016 presidential race, critics often rehashed the old controversies, using Bill's behavior as a way to discredit her. Today, the Clinton legacy remains polarizing. Are they a political power couple who weathered the storm, or figures who were undone by their own personal failings? One thing's for sure, their influence on American politics is undeniable. As we wrap up this episode, it's clear that the Clintons represent one of the most complex and controversial political partnerships in American history. Bill Clinton's accomplishments, from a thriving economy to major legislative achievements, should have secured his legacy as a successful president. But his personal scandals, particularly the Monica Lewinsky affair, have cast a long shadow over his career. Similarly, Hillary Clinton's political ambitions have always been complicated by her husband's infidelities and the swirling rumors about her own personal life. Yet both Clintons have remained prominent figures in American politics, and their influence is undeniable. Whether you see them as a political power couple, a symbol of resilience, or as figures who were undone by their own personal failings, the Clintons have left an indelible mark on U.S. history. That's it for today's episode of Whispers of the White House. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And stay tuned for more stories that explore the darker, more human side of political power. Until next time, stay curious and stay wise.